Hi everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome to my channel. As promised, I am back today with another monthly book haul. Book hauls weren't typically something that I would do prior to lockdown because I didn't really buy that many books, but now I have been giving in to retail therapy and buying a ton, and I've justified it because I guess it's helping the economy bounce back. It's making me happy, so why not buy a bunch of books? So I've got quite a few here to show you today. One was a gift and the rest I bought myself. Also got a pre-order down there. You probably all know what that is. So let's get started. The first one is a gift that I got from my friend Justine. I'll leave a link to her channel below, and that is City of Stairs. I put this one on my wish list because I knew that she adores this trilogy and she bought it for me. So this one I think is adult fantasy. It's about a city in which reality has collapsed. It says on the back that there are staircases that lead to nowhere, alleyways that become portals, and criminals can just vanish into the night. At the beginning of the book I think there is a murder of a diplomat, and she or they have been researching the continent's past. I think there is talk of an uprising and the main character wants to figure out what happened to the doctor who was killed. Just figure out what's going on, I guess. The rest of these are all ones that I bought myself. The first one is the Immortal Asst by Chloe Benjamin. I've heard quite a bit about this one and I'm really excited to pick it up, so I think I'm going to put it on my July TBR, which you've probably already seen by this point. It says here that it's set in 1969 in New York City. There's a travelling psychic who claims to be able to tell anyone the date they will die. 4 siblings go to this psychic, ask her when they're going to die, and I guess she tells them. It says here that over the years that follow they might attempt to ignore, embrace, cheat or defy the knowledge given to them that day, but it will shape the course of their lives forever. I'm really excited for this one because I really like kind of books that make you question whether or not you can control the future, and I don't know if that's what this book is going to be, but in my mind it's kind of a book where it might discuss whether the siblings are kind of creating their own future based on what the psychic told them, or if their path was laid out for them all along. So this is something that I'm really excited to read, so it's definitely going on my July TBR. The next one is The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. I've just realised there's a face on the cover. I'm really bad at seeing faces on covers. I don't know if you've noticed this trend with me. Sometimes it takes me forever to realise that like stars are meant to be manipulated into the shape of a face. But anyway, so this one is the first book in the Inheritance trilogy. It's adult fantasy. I've got no idea what it's about, and I still haven't finished the Broken Earth trilogy, so I'm going to do that first in July and August, and then I'm going to be reading this one. So it says here that it's a story about gods and mortals. The main character is an outcast from the barbarian north. Her mother dies under mysterious circumstances and she has to go to a majestic city of sky, a palace above the clouds where the lives of gods and mortals intertwine. I think this is quite different to the Broken Earth trilogy, which I love so far. I've only read the 5th season, but I do love it. But I'm still very excited to read this one and hopefully continue on with the series. The next one I bought is The Water Knife by Paolo Bacigalupi. So this is an author who I have read before. I read, can't remember the name of it. It was about a shipwreck and people who were ship divers. Was it actually called Shipwreck? It might be. So I read that back in the day because he was very hyped on BookTube. I've had my eye on this one for ages. I think it's set in a world where there's a drought, a permanent drought. Water is now a currency. It says on the front, when the water runs out, blood will flow. So I think it's about people trying to survive in this dry wasteland. It says on the back it's been compared to Dune and A Clockwork Orange, neither of which I've read. I'm very excited to read this one as well. I've got a couple of his other books on my bookshelf that I haven't yet read, so I might do a project with his books and see which one I like the best. The other book is called Shipbreaker, by the way. The next one I got is non-fiction, and that is Sugar in the Blood. This one I heard about on a live stream. It was the Town Hall live stream up on Ashley's channel from Bookish Realm. One of the co-hosts recommended this book. It's a non-fiction story about Andrea Stewart and her family. So she is descended from a slave owner and an enslaved woman, and I think she looks into both sides of her family, and I think it's called Sugar in the Blood because it's going to talk about her family's involvement with sugar canes and sugar plantations throughout the generations and how it's kind of shaped her. What I really like about this one is that there's a family tree. I always appreciate family trees in books. I'm really into genealogy. As you can see, it starts up the top with the slave owner and then it goes down to Andrea Stewart. So I think this is going to be quite a tough read, but I am really looking forward to it, and I think it's probably going to be one that I listen to the audiobook alongside. It doesn't have many reviews on Goodreads and none of my friends have read it, so I don't really know if it's going to be something that I enjoy, but it's something that I want to try out anyway. I then bought the Library of the Unwritten, which I bought for a project that is still ongoing. The sequel to this one is coming out I think later on this year or early next year. This one also has a different cover in the US, but basically it says on the back that in this book, every book that is left unfinished by its author is filed away in the Unwritten Wing, a neutral space in hell presided over by Claire, who is the head librarian. So if an author doesn't finish a book, the manuscript then goes down to hell. It says here that a hero escapes from his book and goes off in search of his author, so the head librarian Claire has to track him down. I think this one sounds really original, and a lot of my friends have really liked it, so I think it's going to be one that I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to picking this one up very soon. I also got, for another project, 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. I think this author also has something coming out later on this year. I just can't remember what it is, and I don't really know what this is about. I just know that it's one of the Hugo Awards nominees. So many people loved it in the past year. I think it's about an orphan girl who goes to live with a wealthy man. She discovers a story that tells of doors that lead you into different places, so I think it's like portal fantasy. It says on the back that January realises she can escape her story and sneak into someone else's. So I have probably already read this by the time this video is going up. I'm quite looking forward to it at this point, although it's not one that I am convinced that I'm going to love. I just really hope that I do. The Good Luck Girls, which I love this cover so much. I don't know if you can see, but it's really shiny and you've got the sparkles here. So this is about 4 girls who were captured as children and enslaved, and they escape, and this is the journey of them escaping and freeing themselves. It says here on the back that they were sold as children and branded with cursed markings, trapped in a life they would never have chosen. One of the sisters accidentally kills a man, and then they have to find freedom, justice and revenge in a country that wants them to have none of those things. So this book, I think, wasn't very hyped up when it first came out. I think it came out in autumn last year, and it was on one of my new releases videos, and I've just now gotten around to picking it up. I am really looking forward to reading this one. It's quite short as well, so I'm expecting it to be a really fast-paced read. I haven't heard many people talking about it, but I'm going to look up some reviews on Goodreads to see what the general consensus is. I'm just in love with this cover, to be honest. It's stunning. And then finally we have my favourite book of the year that I pre-ordered, and that is The Empire of Gold. I did an unboxing in one of my vlogs, which I will link up above. When this one arrived, I cried. I was so excited because I've already read it and I adored it. This is the 3rd book in the City of Brass trilogy, which is adult epic fantasy. It's about a girl called Nari who is a healer in Egypt, and she realizes that she can detect illnesses in people. So there's some sort of magic going on there, and then she comes across the world of the jinn, and she is taken to Daevabad, which is the city of the jinn, and she gets involved in court politics and with an actual genie, and she discovers her heritage, and it's an incredible trilogy. It wraps up really, really well. You can check out my review, which I will leave up above. It's honestly fantastic, so I can't recommend this enough. So those are all the books that I bought or received recently. I expect to be back in a few weeks, probably with a NetGalley and EW haul, because I'm trying to keep my ebook hauls separate. In the meantime, please do subscribe. I upload 2 to 3 times a week, so you get regular content from me. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Bye.